Hey everyone, it is 10:15 at night and this is my first video for Kev's crypto channel, my cryptocurrency channel. I had a few problems today with mining that set me back for a few hours, and I've spoke about this before. Cryptocurrency mining, normally 99% of the time or 95% of the time, it's great because, you know, when you've set up your rigs and it's all mining okay, you know, all you're really doing is exploring new coins, setting up new pools and just, you know, getting everything ticking over. But there's been a few things today that caused some problems. The first one, and this is something that I'm sure everyone in the UK will testify, is that it's been unbearably hot the last few days. And I'm talking unbearably hot. Now, I realise some of you guys are in very, very warm countries. We had quite a cold winter. And well, I assume the whole UK, but where I live in Scotland, it's quite a cold winter. But it worked out great because I had all my cryptocurrency mining rigs. It was freezing outside and I basically didn't have to put my heating on. But today I sat in my car and I drove down to the sports centre, and I think in 5 minutes with the windows down, I was covered in sweat. It was, someone said today in their car, it was saying it was 34, 35 degrees. Now, you know, depending where you are. Now, it's very, very warm outside. Very, very warm. But you can only imagine the heat that's in my office right now, which is why I'm not recording upstairs. It's way too noisy, and not just the noise, it's way too warm. As I said, you know, in winter, it could be -5 outside, and my room was a beautiful temperature. So you can imagine the amount of heat that's getting pumped out in the graphics cards. What I found with graphics cards as well is that, you know, the heat seems to go up exponentially. So what I mean by that is when I went from 5 degrees, you know, say outside, it went from say 5 degrees to 10 degrees Celsius. It wasn't just 5 degrees warmer in my room. It was maybe another 10 or 15 degrees warmer, that kind of thing, because it's kind of like exponential. You run the cards harder, the fans have to go harder, and because of that, it's producing more heat, more hot air going into the room. It is an absolute pain. And, you know, I've dialed down the temperatures of the power rating. I've tried Lyra 2Z. Doesn't matter what I do. I mean, I was actually talking to some people today in Discord, and a few people have just turned off their rigs. It is that warm. So there's a little bit of a pain. And the other thing, there was a pain today, was Windows. Windows. Now, this is something that I've spoke about a few times with people. Some people, you know, say that Windows is the worst thing you should use for mining. I've had a couple of problems with Windows recently, but by and large, you know, for the last 6-7 months, I've not really had any problems with Windows. Once you've set up Windows OK, you know, I've got Windows Pro on my rigs. You can download it just from, you know, Microsoft or whatever, and you don't have to activate the license, but you download it. You have to disable lots of things in the BIOS and in Windows just to make sure things restart and they tick over okay. But once you get it all done and you've got everything tweaked the way you want it, Windows is okay. And I use Windows with Awesome Miner, and I've said many times that I love Awesome Miner. It's great. I love the, you know, the control it gives me over my rigs, over my graphics cards, over my pools. I've got all these backup pools set up. Everything works great. Now, a lot of people say that you shouldn't be mining with Windows, and they say that you should be looking at these other options. Smos is one. Sia in Discord today, he was recommending Hive OS. This is another popular option. It's free for the first 3 rigs, and then after that, it's $3 per rig, or for all your rigs. But, you know, offers a lot of much the same functionality as Awesome Miner, but the key difference is that Hive OS, you can run, you know, either just installing the system, the operating system, onto a hard drive. But the beauty of it is you can just stick it on a USB drive. So I could, you know, I'm thinking about doing this now actually. What I'm thinking about doing is just putting the Hive OS into a USB drive, trying it on one of my rigs. And if I don't like it, take it out, it runs on Windows again. Now, I've been reluctant to go down this route because it means setting everything up again. It means setting up pools again. It means setting up templates again. And, you know, all these kind of things that you have already configured. And I've got Awesome Miner set up to be a refined mining machine as far as backup pools and all these other things. But, you know, as someone who's got a cryptocurrency mining channel, I should be exploring these things as well and looking at alternatives. I've been a little bit lazy. The reason I'm talking about this is because Windows had updates today, and it was a pain in the ass, an absolute pain in the ass. I'd actually updated Awesome Miner today, but all my rigs had to update as well. I updated my laptop as well. Now, what happens when that happens, when Windows Update has to occur is, well, things just go wrong. And this is the thing with Windows. When it's working great, it's great. And, you know, and the odd restart, maybe every few weeks is okay. But basically, I disable Windows updates. But what Windows is doing now is, even if you've run into services and you've disabled Windows updates and you've said, I don't want any Windows updates, Windows will override that and it will pop up saying that you need to update this because it's like a critical update. That's fine. I can live with that. I really can live with that. If it's a critical update, if it makes it more secure, if it fixes things, if it improves things, fine. I don't mind it if it's like only once every, you know, month or 2 months or 3 months, whatever. That's okay. But the problem that I had today was that it messed up a lot of settings. Now, what I found, it was a little bit strange. I've got my main PC, but I've got 4 mining rigs. And what I found out was that first rig mined okay. It was mining okay. Now, Awesome Miner had added the Zcash miner, the Equihash 1445 miner, EWBF, I think it is, version 0.2. Now, before I had specified that myself, I'd uploaded the software myself to Awesome Miner, and I'd said, you know, go to this file, this is the mining software you're using. But now the Awesome Miner, the new version, has it, you know, packaged. So it's better to use that. It just saves any problems. It's easier in the template system to just use the pre-made one, not the pre-made one, the one that comes with Awesome Miner and it downloads it. So the problem with that is when you've got Windows and a program like Awesome Miner or any other program out there, like NiceHash or whatever, when it tries to install a new mining script, it obviously, you know, it gets flagged up in Windows Defender. Now, one of the things that you have to do if you've got a mining rig running through Windows is to go into Windows Defender and go into any other antivirus or security software that you happen to have running in your rigs. Go into Windows Defender and you set up exclusions. So I've excluded certain files, I've excluded certain folders and said, listen, Awesome Miner folder, don't check there. That's all good. Don't have to worry about it because all these scripts, all these installations of miners and things like that, they always get flagged up by Windows Defender as being a virus. And it's not because they don't like mining software, it's because there is a lot of spyware that puts mining software into people's computers. So it could be, you know, some sort of script or just a little thing that mines someone's, using someone's CPU and it sends it to an address, that kind of thing. So Windows Defender is looking out for that. But the problem today is that it basically undid everything. So I'd set up Windows Defender before, I'd say exclude all these files and all that. But after the update today, you know, which takes like 10 minutes to install, or maybe longer than that, it installed all the software, then restarted. And it just removed all those settings. It actually disabled the exclusions. And then when you go to add it back, all the different folders, all the different files that I'd said, listen, these are fine, don't touch it. They were all gone. So I had to add them all again. Now, this is where it got a little bit annoying, and I went into the SafeCoin Discord and I was talking to some people about it, and they were, you know, saying what's wrong, and they were, you know, telling me what to do, and really, really helpful. But basically, it was trial and error, and a lot of the things they were suggesting had already done. You know, what I found was what was really, really driving me nuts today was the fact that I've got 4 rigs, and one of them it was all working. It's got the exact same setup as the, you know, rig 2. And yet rig 2 wasn't working. And basically what was happening was I was going into Awesome Miner saying start the rig, and it was saying no, can't because of antivirus. And on rig 2 it was flagging up as an error. Now I eventually got to the bottom of this. I added all the different exclusions. I restarted like 2 or 3 times. I don't know if maybe the updates hadn't went through. I don't know. But I did all of this in the room. I sat in the room, and I swear to God, I'd come out the shower. I was nice and cool, and within about 2 minutes, the sweat was pouring out, maybe just because, I mean, it's so warm outside, but in the room with all those graphics cards, I've got 30 graphics cards in there spinning, and they're spinning hard. It was unbearable. So, yeah, it was a very crappy day for me, from a mining point of view, simply because of that, because I was sitting trying to fix I don't mind tinkering about with my rigs anyway. It's something I do enjoy. But in that heat, it was punishment. It was like torture. Now, from my point of view, moving forward, not just now, but in the future, this is something I will have to review. And I've kind of touched upon this in the past with someone, you know, a few people have said to me this year, are you going to buy an ASIC machine? Are you going to buy more GPUs? Are you going to do all this? And it's something I would like to do in the future. I would like to increase my hardware. I would like to increase my hash power. But things like today make me think whether I should do that or not. Because, well, this is the thing. I'm a miner, but I'm also a YouTuber. And the time that I spent updating those rigs today, I could have done like 2, maybe even 3 videos. And, you know, when your time is limited, when you do basically waste a day, you know, doing Windows updates and all these other things, all these maintenance things. Now, I've got 4 rigs there running, and I've got another graphics card on my PC. I've got 4 rigs, but you imagine I've got 5 or 10 or 15 or 20. It's a full-time job, and all of a sudden, my YouTube channel is away in the background. So, long term, I still want to mine. I really do still want to mine. I think it's, you know, the services like NiceHash and mining rentals that still allow you to mine new coins. But I do like having my own graphics cards and mining just using my own equipment. But obviously I need to think. And I know I'm not the only one that has to think about this. You know, some people just have jobs they've got, or they want to be involved in cryptocurrency, but they've got families, they've got friends, or they just don't want to, they spend all their time mining. But obviously there will come a point where I'll need to review this situation and go, right, shouldn't I be spending more time trading than mining? It's one of those things. I don't have an answer to it. Right now, I do still enjoy mining, but obviously it's fresh in my mind today that I spent a lot of time messing about with my rigs. So if you're in the UK, you have undoubtedly had to deal with all this heat this week. And funny enough, when I was talking about what was happening with my rigs today, people were giving me help. But about an hour or so later, someone else popped up and said, oh, this happened to me today as well. This just happened to me. Someone else popped up. This has happened to me as well. So it wasn't just happening to me. This Windows update seems to have removed a lot of stuff. So seems like it's affected a lot of people. I do want to continue mining. So, you know, I'm not saying that I'm not going to keep mining, guys. But long term, yes, I would like to review, you know, how I'm going to do these things, you know, how I'm going to do things. I want to talk about this more in another video as far as, you know, my plans for the future and all that kind of thing, because that's a whole different topic altogether. But for me, as someone who's a cryptocurrency miner, today was a pain in the ass. I wanted to spend time investigating pools. I wanted to look at new coins and doing all these other things. But I spent it doing Windows updates in unbearable heat. It's one of those things, guys. You have to take the rough with the smooth. You know, sometimes mining is great. It gives you so many opportunities to mine coins that other people can't. But sometimes it's a pain in the ass. It really is. That's the truth. So thanks for watching, guys. I'd love to hear from those of you who are cryptocurrency miners. As I said, there's a lot of highs and lows in this game. Today was a low. Wasn't terrible. It was a pain. So thanks for watching, guys. As always, please do leave a comment, and I'll speak to you all in the next one. Take care.